Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the European Session Brief. We're around 10 minutes off the European Open. We're on Wednesday the 12th of April 2023. Let's have a look at some of the market headlines and what we've got on for today. We've got a divided Fed actually. We do have the US CPI coming out today, but yesterday we had a couple of Fed speakers making some interesting comments. Firstly, Fed President from New York, John Williams, he said that officials still have more work to do. But on the other hand, Chicago Fed President Goolsbee, who actually is a voter this year, called for prudence and patience. The first official to suggest policymakers may need to hold off on further hikes for now. So we do have fresh data today coming out. Economists are forecasting it to rise by 5.6% from a year earlier, excluding food and energy prices, that is. So that's the core CPI. Roughly unchanged from the previous month. Goldman Sachs have come out and said if we get a print above 6%, then the S&P could drop at least 2%. Markets have been in quite a lull over the past week or so. We've had Easter, lower liquidity, not much data coming out. So you've seen the DAX, which we cover here in Europe, but also in pretty much all of US markets. You can see just been in a flat range trade for the past week or so. That's expected to change today with the CPI coming out. It's not going to be until later on today, so we've still got a little while. And if you do want to read a little bit more about why the CPI is important, or you want to see the latest trends, you can go into the economic calendar inside the platform. You can get the countdown. You can see we've got 5 hours 38 until that particular read, and it's going to give you a description as well of why it's important, albeit mine's just not loading for the second. So that's inside the economic calendar of the chat room, which you can just open up in here. So we've got of course Fed basically and US CPIs being the main discussion points this morning. We did have Switzerland's parliament, their lower house yesterday voted approving $120 billion in government guarantees for UBS's takeover of Credit Suisse, a symbolic show of popular and political discontent with the deal. Parliament doesn't have the power to stop the takeover negotiated last month, as the government had already had a small group of senior lawmakers, the so-called financial delegation, sign off on the deal the same weekend it was negotiated. Still, it stands in contrast to the upper house, which had given its green light earlier in the day, and demonstrates the anger amongst opposition politicians on both sides of the political spectrum. So I've had a few forecasts come out. Just mentioned Goldman Sachs. We had another investment bank, Wells Fargo. One of the analysts there suggests the S&P could suffer a 10% correction in the next 3 to 6 months. They reckon the resilience of US equities this year will be short-lived, with a worsening economic picture likely sending the market down in the coming months. In terms of equities today, we've got the FTSE edging slightly higher. Strong start to the week. Nice inside bar breakout last week, and Friday's nice trade, higher close, continued that momentum through. Now the next level to the upside for me is going to be 78.45 for the FTSE. Like I mentioned, the DAX is relatively had a slowish start to the week and has been just in this sideways range between 15.735, which is also the current yearly highs, but also the support level of around that 15.500 area. You can see just edging lower heading into the European Open in 7 minutes time from now, and you maybe see a quieter day, a quiet session until the CPI print out of the US. In terms of FX, you've got the cable, which was looking to break through it did break through new yearly highs, but just wasn't able to hold them. We faded the entire move by the end of last week, and some more. We're just back retesting that sort of 124.45 level. You can see the high of the day pretty much at that area now. So it looks like that's going to be the key. But that's going to be the line in the sand, if you like, the 124.45 for this session ahead. And of course, the US dollar is going to be the key driver behind any moves today, and that'll all depend on the US CPI. So again, you might see a quieter session until then. Same with the euro. Really, we haven't been able to break new yearly highs yet on this market, but again, we're just around this 109.40. If we get a hotter print than expected, then it's a case of US dollar flow, a flow coming into the US dollar, so you see a move off that 109.40 back down, maybe into the 1.0870, depending on the actual the print, if it's above 6% on the core, maybe you see a move all the way down, in fact, to 1.08. We have been putting in a lot of high lows since the mid-March low, let's say. You can see here on the intraday time frames, the high low, high low, high low. So if we can be able to just hold around 1.8870, it shows there's enough buys, another high low, and we can continue pushing onwards and upwards and look to basically crack this current resistance of 1.0940. Not too much else going on today. European session is quiet in terms of calendar. And we await US inflation data that, of course, may shed light on the Fed's next move. So I think I will leave it there for now. I will see you all inside the chat room. And yeah, if there's anything else, we'll discuss it inside there. Until the crypto session brief, take care and bye for now.